Namrata, hello.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Namrata, yeah, fine, fine, man. Just entered the home. Give me 2-3 minutes, हाँ हाँ,
Yes,
मैं
ma'am.
सब
Sure.
अटैच कर दे, हाँ हाँ.
जी
एक 2-3 मिनट दे, बाहर शक्ल एकदम हवाइयाँ उड़ रखी है मेरी, हाँ अभी अभी
जी
उठी हूँ, हाँ. ओके. जाऊंगी अभी, इसको थोड़ा ठीक करते हैं। आज ना बहुत ही भागम भाग हो गई है मेरी। कैसी हो? हाँ,
मैं ठीक हूँ। आप?
मैं भी ठीक हूँ। आज ना मेरा एक जगह लेक्चर था, एक कॉलेज में। तो
हम्म,
पहले सुबह ओपीडी की, फिर वो भाग कर वो कॉलेज के लेक्चर लिया। फिर वहां से भाग कर भाग ही रही हूँ तब से ओपीडी के लिए। बारिश आ गई थी बीच में, इतना ट्रैफिक जाम सब उसके चक्कर में। हाँ।
पुणे में
हम्म।
ट्रैफिक बहुत हो रहा होगा ना,
और
बारिश की
बहुत
वजह से।
बहुत इतनी बारिश आई, मतलब अनएक्सपेक्टेड बारिश थी।
जी। मैम
चलो
स्टार्ट
करो।
करें?
हाँ हाँ।
जी।
क्वेश्चन ज्यादा मत लेना, मैंने बहुत बहुत मुश्किल से चैप्टर प्रिपेयर किया है। तुम अच्छा भेज, उसमें लिखना चैट बॉक्स में, देन आई विल डिसाइड।
यस।
हाँ।
सो लेट्स स्टार्ट।
या।
वी आर लाइव नाउ। Good evening, everyone. I'm Namrita Matish from Medisage E-Learning Private Limited, a leading platform dedicated to empowering medical professionals through knowledge sharing, expert insights, and digital innovation. In our today's esteemed Pearl series, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome Dr. Ritu Santwani, a name very well known to our Medisage community. Dr. Ritu Santwani, a highly respected obstetrician and gynecologist, infertility specialist, and sexologist. Dr. Santwani holds qualifications including MBBS, MD, FECOG, FIAOG, and ART Singapore. She is the founder and CEO of 360 Degree Healthcare Studio, NUHS Singapore, and is recognized among the top 50 influential doctors on social media. Dr. Santwani also serves as the co-founder of MAAM and is a board member of SWWC, bringing a wealth of expertise in women's health. Today, ma'am will be sharing her clinical experience and expertise on a vital topic: epigenetics and nutrition, the new era of weight control. So, without further delay, I'm delighted to hand over the session to Dr. Ritu ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, my dear beautiful Namrita. Thank you so much. And thank you, Medisage, for providing the platform for such academic initiatives. And thanks to Diksha too. I know Diksha is not here, but मेरे को लगता है कि मैं दीक्षा को भी हमेशा थैंक्स कहूँगी। दीक्षा ही मुझे बार बार पिंग करती रहती है, मैम आप कब लेक्चर लोगे, कब हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म पे आओगे. So friends, today I am going to discuss with you all a very important topic related to obesity and weight control. So as we all know, there is a these days, if we are seeing the social media, if you as soon as you open the social media, there are a lot of drugs are coming. Ozempic, lot of celebrities we are seeing with the Ozempic, the drastic weight loss, with the Monjaro. What are these things, and what is the role of the genetics and epigenetics in the weight loss, and how the drugs can affect on these? So I have made this presentation a very short and crisp presentation focusing on the salient points. So let's start the discussion. So as usual, my all presentations will always start with my Mata Rani Stuti. या देवी सर्वभूतेषु चिकित्सा रूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. So as Namrata has already given my introduction, so I'm not showing that slide. I think it is visible, Namrata, clearly.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, my dear. Hmm. So इसको भी बंद करती हूँ. Hmm. So epigenetics and nutrition, the new era of weight control. So today what I'm going to discuss with you all, to discover how our daily food choices directly influence the activity of our genes, not by altering your fundamental DNA sequence, but by dictating the genetic instructions are turned on and off. This groundbreaking understanding, rooted in the science of epigenetics, unveils the revolutionary new approach to weight management that goes far beyond the traditional diet and exercise, offering a path to deeper, more sustainable metabolic control and overall well being. So, I have divided it into 4 chapters. So, we will take one by one. The first is the understanding the obesity epidemic beyond genetics. So, as we all know, the obesity has nearly tripled the worldwide since 1975, with over 650 million adults now classified as obese, according to WHO. Surprisingly, genetics explain only 3 to 5% of the BMI variance, with the environment and lifestyle emerging as key drivers of this global health crisis. So, our modern obesogenic environment, we can say, combining readily available calorie dense foods with increasingly sedentary lifestyle, continues to fuel this epidemic despite the advances in the nutritional science. Friends, I can say that post COVID, lot of changes has happened at the time of the COVID. Lot of us has become a couch potato. Everything is visible, is available online. You have to only to place a order and you are getting within 5 minutes or 10 minutes the thing. So both the factors are responsible for this. The calorie dense foods with the attractive packs are available showing no preservative. But how it is possible that without preservative the foods are sustaining for the such long time? And of course the sedentary lifestyle. So now coming to this obesity statistics, what is in the Indian context? So recent studies in India reveal a rapidly escalating obesity crisis, moving beyond urban centers to affect a broader demographic. While historically less prevalent than in the Western nations, the rate of overweight and obesity has on a significant surge. So, according to recent surveys, nearly 25 to 30% of the adults in India are now classified as overweight or obese, with figuring reaching higher in the metropolitan areas. This represents a substantial increase over the past decade, driven by the changes in diet, reduced physical activity, and increased consumption of processed foods. The rising prevalence among the children, adolescents, and is particularly concerning, indicating a growing public health challenge that requires a urgent attention and policy interventions. So, friends, this slide I have inserted today only the how the state-wise the obesity prevalence in India and what about the gender discrimination. So, I have kept first the Maharashtra as I am in Maharashtra. So, male obesity 28, female 35. Then coming to the Uttar Pradesh 2025, Kerala 3240, Delhi 3038, and West Bengal 18 and 22, Tamil Nadu 27 and 33. So friends, here we can see how the percentage wise the obesity is keeping on the rise in both the genders. So obesity prevalence in India shows a significant variations across the different states and between the genders. Generally, urbanized and economically prosperous states tend to exhibit the higher rates of obesity compared to rural or less developed regions. Women consistently showing a higher prevalence of obesity than the men across the most states, often attributed to lifestyle factors, dietary habits, and cultural norms. This disparities highlights a complex interplay of socioeconomic, environmental, and behavioral factors. Hmm. So now, what is this epigenetics? Friends, this epigenetics is the software of our DNA hardware. The software of to our DNA hardware. So we can say this epigenetics control the gene expression without changing the underlying sequence, working like an interpreter between our environment and our genes. So friends, again I'm repeating because this epigenetics is usually controls the gene expression. Then it acts like a biological dimmer switch, turning up the genes up and down based on the environmental signals we encounter daily. Then nutrition stands as one of the most powerful epigenetic modulators, directly influencing the weight regulation and metabolic processes. Then this epigenetics turning on genes on and off The illuminated sections here, friends, we can see the illuminated sections represent the epigenetic modifications, chemical tags that determine whether the genes are expressed or silenced. These modifications, such as DNA methylation, histone modification, acts like molecular switches, literally turning the genes on and off or dialing their activity up or down. So, unlikely the permanent changes to the DNA sequence itself, epigenetic tags are dynamic and responsive. They react directly to a multitude of environmental influences, with dietary factors playing a particularly crucial role. This means that what we eat can actively dictate which genetic instructions are read and utilized by our cells and profoundly impacting the processes like metabolism, fat storage, and even our susceptibility to weight gain. So, how this nutrition shapes our genome? So, friends, here you can see the beautiful slide with the different nutritionist products, how they are affecting our genes. So, first and foremost, we will take the methyl donors like folate, vitamin B12 or choline provides an essential methyl group for DNA methylation, a key epigenetic process that regulates the gene expression. Then come the bioactive compounds like polyphenols, which are present in fruits and tea, uh, sulforaphane in broccoli, and butyrate from fermented foods directly regulate the enzymes responsible for epigenetic modifications. Metabolic benefits. These epinutrients promotes the healthy gene expression patterns, reduce inflammation, enhance the fat metabolism, and support the sustainable weight control. Mm. There is a one famous study of the agouti mouse experiment for that is related to this diet's epigenetic legacy. So they have concluded by this study, the landmark of this study experiment conclusively demonstrates a mother's diet creates a lasting epigenetic legacy that influences her offspring's obesity risk without changing a single DNA letter. So in this, the study, the pregnant mice are uh, feeds with methyl donors, folate, and B12 produced offspring with healthy weight and brown coats due to epigenetic silencing about the agouti gene. Then coming to this chapter 2, the epigenetic memory and weight cycling changes. So friends, here we will take what is the scientific evidence, what is metabolic memory, and what is this long-term challenge. So scientific evidence suggests that human and mouse studies reveal that the fat cells retain the certain epigenetic marks from the periods. Uh, mm, yeah, from the sorry. From the periods of obesity even after the successful weight loss. Long-term challenge, the persistent epigenetic memory creates a biological barriers that complicate the long-term maintenance efforts. Understanding the this epigenetic persistence helps explain why obesity treatment requires approaches that addresses the molecular adaptations rather than simply focusing on calorie counting. So it is very important to know about this epigenetics. Friends, the famous yo-yo dieting trap, epigenetics at play, only about 20% of the people maintain their significant weight loss for long term, with the most regaining weight within 1 to 5 years of initial success. This is the frustrating cycle and isn't simply a matter of willpower. Research reveals that epigenetic changes influence the complex regulation of hunger, satiety signals, and signature and the energy expenditure. Sorry for that. Each dieting cycle can further interwedge with the unfavorable epigenetic patterns, making a subsequent weight loss attempts increasingly difficult. Effective nutritional strategies must now consider for these epigenetic effects to break the cycle and create a sustainable changes in weight reduction. Mhm. So, continuing with that, the breaking the yo-yo cycle, the epigenetic modifications responds well to weight fluctuations, creating a profound metabolic adaptations, which will help in the weight loss. And create some difficulty for that. This happens to a body through epigenetic programming, becomes more efficient at storing fat, less efficient at burning it, effectively remembering the periods of energy restriction and preparing for future ones. These persistent epigenetic marks can also alter the function of fat cells, increasing the higher sensitivity for hunger and satiety hormones like leptin, ghrelin, and even modulate energy exercise. The epigenetic memory helps to explain the frustrating phenomena of weight regain even when the dietary and exercises habits seem consistent. Then the new approaches of targeting these epigenetic changes are crucial to help to reset the biological resistance to weight maintenance. This involves not just the calorie management, but the strategic nutritional interventions. Along with that, reduce physical activity, stress reduction techniques designed to reprogram and gene expression patterns, paving the pathway for sustainable weight management then before the more willpower. So, friends, we can see this epigenetic memory uh, we have to remember. Then the hormone symphony of the weight control, as we know, the leptin and ghrelin. Leptin is the which is responsible for the satiety signal, and the ghrelin is the hunger catalyst. Now, coming to the chapter 3, I tried to have taken some very important point and nutrition epigenetics in action, foods that reprogram weight control. So, friends, here we can see the methyl donors, epibioactives, and fermented foods. Among these methyl donors, as I have just earlier, I've also shown in the PPT, the leafy greens, folates, eggs, and liver. Mm. Yeah. Eggs and liver and choline for this fish vitamin B12 essential methyl groups that support the healthy DNA methylation pattern, epibioactives, green tea cactins, resveratrol, uh, red grapes, and curcumin are and sulforaphane uh, regulates and directly modulate the epigenetic gene. among this fermented food provides the butyrate, a potent histone deacetylase inhibitor that promotes the fat metabolism and reduces the inflammation through epigenetic mechanisms. So now this we can understand that from the fermented foods we are getting this butyrate. So, sorry for this congested slide because the material is so much, so I tried to include as much as possible. So, friends, as I just shown earlier, that these methyl donors are the essential nutrients for the fuel for the weight control. So, the diet rich in methyl donors helps to maintain the healthy epigenetic patterns, potentially supporting a lean body composition, counteracting the obesity promote epigenetic changes. They play the optimizing role of gonads of sorry of the genes involved in the satiety, fat burning, and insulin sensitivity. Sorry for that. Among this, the sources are the folate for the recommended doses 400 microgram per day. And as we know, the sources are the leafy green vegetables, spinach, kale, legumes, asparagus, broccoli, fortified cereals. Around the B12 is 1500 to 2.4. Then sources we know animal products, meat, fish, poultry, eggs, dairy, fortified plant-based milks and cereals. Now coming to the choline. Choline is an essential Daily intake is 425 mg for adult women and 550 for adult men. For the sources for this, we know egg yolk, beef, liver, salmon, soybean, chicken breast, and cruciferous vegetables. Then coming to the betaine also plays a very important role. For this recommended dietary intake, mhm, mm, mm, sorry, mm, mm, uh, egg yolk, beef liver, salmon, soybean, chicken breast, and cruciferous vegetables. Then for this betaine, just a second. Spinach, beets, quinoa, shellfish, and whole grains. Then EPI bioactives. I will take two, three important salient points from the slide. Then EPI bioactives, among this we can see from this green tea catechins, and they plays as an important role of the hmm, sorry. So for this green tea, EGCG, as we know, the regular consumption of the green tea, 2 to 4 cups per day, the supplemental doses 200 to 500 milligram EGCG has been reported. Then resveratrol, a polyphenol, which is known for activating the sirtuins, which are the proteins involved in the metabolic regulation and gene silencing. The sources for that is red grapes, red wine, peanuts, and berries. Then curcumin. For the curcumin, we know the source is the uh, from the turmeric, and for it is best absorbed with the black pepper. So the preparations of the turmeric water are available in the market for the weight loss. So please have a look that they are having along with that pinch of turmeric, which will boost up the metabolism. Okay. And we all know turmeric is having lot of anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Then coming to this sulforaphane, it is found in the cruciferous vegetables and act as a potent activator of the NRF2 pathway. The sources for that is broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and cauliflower. So regular consumption of fresh or lightly cooked cruciferous vegetables. Friends, sorry for this overcrowded slide because the material is so much for to show for this topic. Mm. Then coming to the fermented foods, as we all know, plays a very good role. A key compound in that is the butyrate. So butyrate act as a potent histone deacetylase inhibitor. For sources, as we all know, yogurt having a probiotic rich, then kimchi. Kimchi is also popular. Kombucha is also popular. Tempeh, which is a fermented soybean product, is gain a lot of good reviews for that. And yeah, I will take next. So then there are a lot of studies has been done between the vegan diet and the biological age reduction. So a groundbreaking Stanford study led by the Christopher D. Gardner, published in JAMA, examined the identical twins, which one is following the vegan diet for 8 weeks, other maintain a standard diet, including the animal pictures. Researchers have shown the vegan twin experienced a measurable reduction in the biological age markers due to epigenetic modulation of age-related genes. So there is a dramatic difference of observation in both the cases. So the conclusion of this shows the plant-based diets may provide the epigenetic benefits beyond just caloric restriction. Now coming the what are the nature products as epigenetic therapeutics for obesity? So among this bioactive discovery, epigenetic restoration, therapeutic potential. So among this bioactive discovery, the tea polyphenols. gelatin from soy, curcumin, and turmeric has all been identified to inhibit the enzymes promoting the fat accumulation. Then they all help in the epigenetic restoration. Then therapeutic potential for developing the novel anti-obesity drugs. So then coming to the very important point is the lifestyle synergy, exercise, stress, and epigenetics. As we know, the effects of exercise, physical activity influences the DNA methylation patterns linked to energy metabolism, improving the mitochondrial function and fat oxidation. Of course, the stress impacts on all. Holistic approach combined lifestyle uh, with intervenes, optimizing the epigenetic regulation for weight control more effectively than the isolated approaches. Then the role of this early life nutrition and transgenerational effects. So maternal influence, paternal contribution, and breaking the cycle. So among this, the mother diet should be rich that directly shapes her child epigenome and lifelong obesity susceptibility because during the developmental windows, then paternal contribution, surprisingly, for this, the father nutrition also important to have good offsprings. Then for breaking the cycle, the early nutritional interventions and targeting these epigenetic mechanisms. So the conclusion of this study is that the transgenerational epigenetic inheritance transformation. Hmm. Then, while this, as we are saying, that we are feeding the future generation genes. So, maternal nutrition directly influence the. Hmm. So, sorry for that. Maternal nutrition directly influences the epigenetic programming in the developing child with effects that can persist throughout the child's lifetime and potentially into the future generations. So, studies have shown that the nutrient dense diets, which are rich in the methyl donors during pregnancy, may establish a healthier epigenetic pattern that progressed that protect against the obesity. So, by this adding of this methyl donors is definitely going to be helpful for all. Then there are some new emerging technologies for that. Uh, which are considered as the epigenetic biomarkers for personalized nutrition. So, friends, they have studies have shown that the DNA methylation profiles are emerging as powerful biomarkers that can predict an individual predisposition to weight gain. Then, in the this nutrigenetics, in this, the tailoring the dietary recommendations based on individual gene epigenome interactions promises are more effective, sustainable weight loss management with so overcoming this epigenetic environment, epigenetic obesogenic environment, environmental toxins, dietary protection, and public health approach. So among this environmental toxins, reducing the exposure to endocrine disruptors like BPA, phthalates, because usually we are seeing this BPA is most commonly seen in this non-stick pans. Mm. And so we have to change the frequently the non-stick pan within a month or so. And if possible, don't use the non-stick. You can go through with the aluminum or steel or the mitti ka bartan or ceramics also do. Dietary protection promoting the diets rich in the methyl donors and epibioactives that can counteract the negative environmental influences on our epigenome. Then public health approaches are developing the evidence-based policies to improve the food environment and reduce the collective obesity burden through the epigenetic understanding. Hmm. So again, the future, uh, sorry, again the future of weight control with consider the epigenetics as a game changer. Hmm. So, unliking the genetic mutations, epigenetic modifications, and potentially reversible offspring are often unprecedented hope for lasting interventions in obesity treatment. So, nutritional lifestyle and emerging epigenetic therapies creates a big role. So, so while this we say that we can rewrite your genes, reclaim your health. Every meal represents an opportunity to influence and your gene extent expression in ways that support the metabolic health and weight management. Then studies have shown that this is epigenetic is the emergency science. So conclusion by this embrace the epigenetic revolution in the weight control. So genes are not our destiny. Nutrition and lifestyles are choices, and by shape gang. So this among this shape gene expression every day through the epigenetic mechanisms, then coming the new pathways, understanding and harnessing the epigenetics, unlocking the new pathways to sustainable weight control beyond the calorie counting. Then why to wait? We have to start as early as possible. The food on your plate today shapes the expression of your genes tomorrow. So this is a very uh, good conclusion by this. That whatever we are eating, we are giving the same kind of the expression on the genes for our future generations. So actually, the topic is very vast. I want to add so many more things, but can't add more than this within a half an hour. So let me see the questions in the chat box, because related to this epigenetics, um, lot of research is still going on. I am also trying to study lot and lot about that. So yeah, we can take the questions, my dear.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, Dr. Arjun asks that in bariatric patients, could epigenetic monitoring help predict long-term sustainability of weight loss?
Huh. Yes, yes, definitely, Dr. Arjun. So you can go through, there are some studies are published in the Cochrane, and they are saying that still the lot of studies, lot of work is going on. Yes, definitely in the bariatric and non-bariatric, both the patients, of course, the epigenetic monitoring definitely will help them.
Yes. Ma'am, the second question is from Dr. Nishant. He says, how can we control hormonal issue through weight loss via epigenetic monitoring? Dr. Ritu Santwani, ma'am, session always have some new research points in her webinars.
Thank you, Dr. Nishan. The questions are very good question, and thank you that you have joined. So yes, as you have asked the question, see till now, Dr. Nishant, whatever the studies are coming, that all are showing that only they have focused the importance on 2 points. One is for the weight control, and another is by the nutrition they have. Among the nutrition, lot of studies have come for this all epigenetic monitoring, as I have shown this methylation, adding of the methylation, and so better to include in the diet what the I have shown. So still, I think more work has to be done. As you have rightly asked about how we can we control the hormonal issue through weight loss by epigenetic monitoring. I think by including this methylated products will definitely will help. और उसको लेने का कुछ harm भी नहीं है फोलिक एसिड या होमोसिस डीएचए के साथ लेने के लिए.
Yes.
Okay.
The next question is in PCOS patient with obesity, how much is driven by epigenetic dysregulation versus hormonal imbalance?
Yeah, Dr. Ria, this is a very, very good question. While I was making this PPT, that this question same come in my mind. So what I have find by reading some of the papers of NCBI and PubMed publication, that all are saying that while this epigenetic dysregulation for the PCOS patients, around 60% is they are claiming to be responsible. But still, again, I'm repeating my lines, still lot and lot of research has to be done. Still, it's going on. We can't say the conclusion. At present, the studies are showing up to 60%. Okay.
Ma'am, the last question we received is how do epigenetic regulators of insulin sensitivity interact with dietary carbohydrates in pre-diabetic patients?
Okay. Okay. So, uh, we still, I can say, yes, as you have right. So, how do epigenetic regulators of insulin sensitivity and interact with dietary carbohydrates in pre-diabetic patients? Uh, Dr. Viman, if very frankly, if I tell you, for the pre-diabetic, I am not aware what I have read for these about the PCOS patients, because still the lot of work has to be done. So in they have shown, because in the PCOS patients due to insulin resistance, some doctors are using this metformin and some are using some other methods. So what I found, again I'm coming that I have read for this for the PCOS patients, not for the diabetic. So they have shown that in the PCOS patients who are having the very much dysregulated hormone, and of course a pre-diabetic picture for the PCOS patients. So they have recommended the addition of what are the substances all I have shown, the green tea, green tea, cinnamon, turmeric. So they all have shown that by adding of these insulin sensitizer for reducing this insulin resistance, that are going to play around almost 70 to 80%. These I have read some studies, still the lot of studies are there. So if you are having any additional information, Dr. Vivan, please do write here so all will be enlightened. Whatever how much papers I have read, I found this much only. So maybe by next webinar, I am planning to do something more about the epigenetics. So maybe by that time, if of course, if I will get some more clues, definitely I will share with all of you.
Thank you so
So
much.
yeah. Thank you,
Thank
my dear Namrata. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, dear friends, who all have joined. I know the topic is little new and still lot and lot of studies has to be done. Actually, I have read somewhere that related to epigenetics, there is lot of queries everybody is having. So that's why I thought ki we will at least go through a baseline uh, study about this epigenetics. Yes, of course, I will take the another lecture. In that, I will show the little more details about that. Yeah, over to you, Namrata.
Thank you, Dr. Ritu Santwani, for an insightful and clinical relevant session on epigenetics and nutrition. Your expert perspectives have brought much needed clarity to the subject, and we deeply appreciate the time and expertise you've shared with MediSage community today. And to all our viewers, thank you for joining us today. And for those who missed the session, it will be soon available in the past events section on the MediSage app. So don't forget to check it out. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, my dear. With this, we will wind up for today. Bye bye, everyone. Good night.
Bye. Good night, everyone.